Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media.
Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to Williamstown, just 23 miles northeast of Adelaide, Australia. Williamstown is seated adjacent to Pira Wirra Conservation Park to the southwest and Hale Conservation Park to the southeast. The Warren Conservation Park is due south, and Mount Crawford Forest is nearby as well. With this much forest preserved around the city, it isn't hard to imagine that wildlife frequently wander through the area. The wildlife here include kangaroos, wombats, and koala bears. And dingos are the only large predators here. The forests of eucalyptus trees crowd every hillside and valley around town. There are 700 different species of eucalyptus trees, which fill their leaves with toxins, making them poisonous to most animals. There are a few animals who can eat their leaves, despite the poison, and koala bears are one of them. On November 18, 2014, 50-something Maryanne Forster was out walking her dogs and enjoying the weather. Temperatures were in the mid-60s and a cool breeze wafted through the trees. Maryanne was an assistant school principal for her profession, and her two dogs, Ruby and Diamond, were her constant companions. She was well established in her career in education and had been shaping up by walking. As they strolled on the pathway, Ruby and Diamond began barking and pulling at their tethers. Maryanne was a thin woman, and the large dogs led her more than she led them. As she stumbled along behind the dogs, Maryanne could see a koala bear at the base of a eucalyptus tree a few yards ahead of her. As Maryanne and her dogs got closer to the koala bear, the little critter began gnashing its teeth and grunting. The dogs were upsetting it, and Maryanne was unable to rein them in. She pulled and tugged on their leashes, but they wouldn't budge. She finally worked her way around to the front of the barking dogs, and now very excited koala bear. As she grabbed her dogs, they pushed her backward a few steps, closer to the aggravated koala bear. Suddenly Maryanne's lower leg filled with a piercing pain. She glanced down and could see the koala bear had bitten into her right leg, and it was extremely painful. Maryanne was surprised to see the koala bear attacking her. She was trying to protect it, but it didn't understand that. She thought by kicking her leg, the 30-pound koala bear might decide to let her go, but it just bit down even harder. After a few minutes of trying to shake the koala bear loose from her leg, the pain and pressure of its bite led her to do something more drastic. She reached her hand down and tried pushing the koala bear away from her, but it refused to release her. Maryanne then began digging her fingertips into its mouth in an attempt to pry open its jaws. She continued to push her fingers farther and farther in until the koala bear's mouth popped open and released her from its bite. A little bit of background information is in order to understand just how much pain Maryanne was feeling. A koala bear's bite force is somewhere between 300 to 400 pounds per square inch, and all of that force is focused on only a few incisors located at the front of its mouth. For comparison, a black bear bites with a force of 975 pounds per square inch, while a grizzly bear bites with 1,160 pounds per square inch. Polar bears have a bite force of 1,200 pounds per square inch, which makes them the bears with the hardest bite. Now, a bear's bite is spread over a much larger area than a koala bear, and they have more numerous teeth, so it is likely a bite from a koala bear is about as painful as a bite from a larger bear. Their jaws have a larger gap between their incisors and molars, called a diastema. They use their sharp incisors to nip off leaves and store them in their diastema to chew while they sleep. They eat about 1 pound of eucalyptus leaves each day and can digest them because they have a special organ called a cecum, just like rabbits. This organ helps them digest rough fiber and extract as much nutrition as they need. After prying her leg from the mouth of the koala bear, Maryanne limped her way about 2 kilometers back to her home. From there she called for an ambulance and was taken to the hospital. While at the hospital, medical staff sewed up Maryanne's 3-inch-long koala bear bite with 12 stitches. In the days following the bite, the injury swelled up and was very painful. An infection set into Maryanne's leg, but was treated with antibiotics and then began to heal. She had to remain in the hospital under observation for 4 days before medical staff released her, to heal at home. Following Maryanne's koala bear bite, she stated that she doesn't blame the little critter for biting her, as it felt threatened by her dogs. Now, for those of you who are wondering if koalas are a member of the bear family, they're in the marsupial family, and are known as bears only by their name and appearance. Kinda. They were recently put on the endangered list, and their numbers are declining over most of their former territory. Following Maryanne's koala bear bite, Australian authorities issued public warnings to encourage people to avoid getting close to koala bears, pointing out that their mouths have dangerous bacteria and sharp teeth, and their claws are sharp as well. Authorities hope to curb harassment of the animals. Additionally, they warn that koala bears will defend themselves from dogs, so keeping yours away from them would be advisable. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Do you think Maryanne contributed to the koala bear attack by getting too close to it? What could Maryanne have done to better control her dogs? Why do you think the koala attacked Maryanne instead of her dogs? The next time you see a cute koala bear, will you take extra precautions to avoid the little critter's claws and sharp teeth? I know I will. I'll be glad to read and reply to your thoughts, so please post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it.
Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.